Welcome to Seattle Public Utilities Ask Evelyn Live, where we answer your questions about recycling, compost, garbage, and other trashy topics. I'm your host, Becca Fong, and this week, it's plastic packaging overload. What to do with all of that plastic packaging that has piled up in your household and mine over the holidays. So we are going to get right into it. It is so great to see you guys logging on. It makes the show so worth it. We love hearing from you guys. We love seeing you guys in the audience. Hey, Pat.
Hey, Becca. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right. Plastic packaging overload.
Yes.
There's so much plastic packaging at my house from the holidays and from everything else. So we've got a really good question this week that helps us dive into this topic a little bit further.
All right. Let me jump right into it here. So the question comes to us from Angie. She says, "Hi, Evelyn. I have a lot of different types of plastic packaging and wrappings from the holidays. Can I recycle any of this?" And she lists these items.
Okay.
Air pillows, bubble wrap, bubble mailer, zip-like top type mailers. So she has a list of some items there. We have other items as well we want to cover on this subject because plastic wrap, plastic film, there's a lot to it. What's the quick answer, Becca?
There's a lot of plastic. So quick answer is that almost all of these types of plastics are recyclable, however, not in your cart at your house. So they require slightly special handling, which we'll get into in the details, mainly because they're hard to sort from other materials because they are what we call a flexible plastic. So with that, let's jump right into the details.
Right. Yeah, the first one off is that, just to repeat for everybody, thin, plastic film, plastic wrap, plastic bags, none of that plastic stuff, even if they have a recycle symbol on them, none of that is accepted in your cart.
Right.
Do not follow the recycle symbol as your guide for what goes in the blue cart.
No.
The blue cart accepts rigid plastic containers, no plastic film. Plastic film is a take-back program. Plastic film is a major tangler and problem at the material recovery facility, the MRF, the recycle center. So MRF managers, MRF staff, they're always having to deal with plastic film coming in the recycling. And that's it comes in two ways. A lot of people will throw in an item because it has a recycle symbol on it, an individual plastic, item, for example. Yep. Or they'll put all the recyclables in a bag and put that in the bin, which is also not advisable from us. Even if, there's these bags that you can get now from the market that are for collection of recyclables. Well, if you use this bag to collect your recyclables, we want you to empty out the recyclables into the cart or dumpster and then collect this plastic film bag for recycling later. So it's a tangler problem. The recycle centers do not want plastic film, and it creates a major safety issue in the recycle centers. It's a cost problem for recycle centers. They have to spend a lot of time cutting away all these wrapped around plastic film items that get around the gears and the conveyor belts and the sorting mechanisms. And there's all kinds of mechanical problems that plastic film, presents at the recycle center. So
absolutely. I mean, the big part, so the recycle center, the material recovery facility, the MRF or the MRF, which just because mainly MRF is so fun to say.
Yeah.
We talk about this a lot on the show, which is, in order for things to be recyclable in your curbside cart, which we also call commingled because it's all mingled together, is that when it goes to the MRF, it needs to be be able to be sorted, which Pat, you were talking about. When it's all flexible, it gets wrapped around the screens. It's not sortable. The other thing it needs to be is it needs to have a market for it. And so while there is a market for these plastic film products, because it cannot be sorted, that's why we can't take them at the MRF. But for the take back program, Pat.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things you can put in your mixed plastic film collection. For our household, what we use the bag that our Sunday paper comes in, a newspaper bag.
Pat's old school and gets the paper.
Yeah, we get the newspaper. We get once a week. So we get Sunday paper. And so we just shove plastic bags into this bag. And then when it's done, when it's pretty full, we'll tie it off and then just toss this pillow of plastic film into the back of the car next to the canvas bags. And we go to the market, we go to Fred Meyer or Safeway, wherever we decide to shop this week. We know there's a plastic film, plastic bag collection bin at that store. And then we just drop this in on the way into the store. Target, Lowe's,
Safeway,
Safeway, Albertsons, Fred Meyer, QFC, a lot of the stores have these plastic film collection bins. And more stores are coming online because there's a national push for this. The American Chemistry Council, ACC, the Plastics Corporation kind of group. They are helping to fund some of these collection efforts locally and regionally. So you're going to see more and more of these opportunities. So what should go in that stream? We could talk more about that. What are the types of things that should go in your bag and the things that really shouldn't?
Absolutely. So one thing I wanted to say was that to find those locations, because Pat and I rattled off quite a few, we're going to put a link to the plasticrecycling.org website so you can find a location that is close to you.
Yes, plasticfilmrecycling.org.
Plastic film recycling, absolutely. Yes. All right.
So we'll start going through. We'll just kind of trade off here. I'll give you a couple, and you give me a couple. Here's one. This is a great plastic bag. It's some sort of a sports clothing bag, but it's got a cloth drawstring.
Okay.
So either cut the top of this off, or or reuse it as a trash bag or something like that. Because this is a perfectly recyclable plastic film bag, but this presents a contamination issue. So you don't want, in your efforts to collect plastic film, you do not want to incorporate or add to the mix a bunch of labels or non-plastic film oriented items.
Right. So like another example is these bubble mailers, right?
Yes.
So somebody, we got a gift in this very fancy, exciting hot pink plastic bubble mailer.
Yeah.
Which I actually am probably going to save and reuse because I love that it's hot pink.
Yeah.
But if I was going to recycle it, which I thought maybe I might at the take back, is I peeled the label off as best I could.
Sure.
Just to remove some of that contaminant.
That helps. That's a great help. There's going to be contaminants. There's going to be a little bit here and there, that come in the mix. And as much as you as a consumer can reduce the contaminants from the collected material, that's what we want to see. We have, bread bags are another item. That this is a bag for some hamburger buns, right? Well, I have not yet done it yet, and I won't do it in here because there are crumbs in here. But you just turn it inside out and give it a shake, and that's the MO for that. You just kind of get the crumbs out of the bottom of the bread bag, and then a bread bag is perfectly fine to commingle in with this plastic film collection effort.
Absolutely. For the plastic film, everything, same rules apply. Even though you are doing the sortation by taking it to the retail location, things still need to be empty, clean, and dry. So all the way. So Angie did have one more question, Pat. You have one more that goes into the mix?
Oh, I got other examples here. So saran wrap, plastic wrap, perfectly fine. It's just the type of plastic they want in that program, but it's got to be clean. So if you wrap this around a sandwich or something, if it's not clean, if it has mayonnaise and mustard smeared on it, then that is a no-go. That's a garbage item. But if this just went across the top of a bowl, and inside the bowl, the salad or the Jell-O never actually came in contact with the plastic, then that piece of plastic can just be balled up and put in with your collection bag of other plastic bags and film items.
Awesome. So there are we do get questions about flexible plastic, and Angie had in her question kind of the Ziploc type mailers.
Oh yeah.
And we get these in the mail.
Yeah.
And so they're flexible plastic, so they can be a little bit confusing. They have that Ziploc top to them. Right. Right. And you can see clearly from this one, it's, this kind of metal plastic on the outside, on the inside. And then this is at least 3 kinds of plastic, which means, so even though you have sorted it technically, there isn't a market for this type of material. There's no way for them to reclaim the different kinds of plastic here. Yeah.
No, that's not ideal. These different materials like this is another plastic bag, which you see a lot of these pouches now on the shelf at the grocery store. Here's another one. This is much more crinkly. This one's a little softer, but nonetheless, for the printing and for the air penetration and for the product, shelf life, there's multiple layers of different engineered plastics in these pouches. These pouches are not accepted in these programs. We're only talking about plastic bags and kind of more simple plastic wrap type items. Even the items that seem simple, like this brown sugar bag, it's the right kind of plastic, but there's just the residue that's left on this bag after all the brown sugar is out. It's just too much. You end up with a lot of residue on the bag. And so this is an item that, although it is the same type of plastic that we would be after, it's not going to meet the cleanliness criteria that we have for plastic film efforts.
Totally. Pat, we do have a question that says, is there a minimum size for plastic wrap?
No. I have another example here. This is a little electrical product. I mean, this is a very small bag, but it's perfectly accepted in the program. Again, if you're using a consolidation bag, somewhere in your house where you can, this is fine in there. What's going to happen with this bag is it's going to go to the recycling collection plant. They're going to bale it and they'll ship it off to a facility that will process this. And the first thing they're going to do is shred it into small pieces to bathe it and, you know, remanufacture it into new plastic pellets. So the size of the plastic film material is not, there's no criteria there. But I would say, yeah, maybe the 3-inch rule is probably a good guide, because once you get to a certain size, unless you're bagging it, it's going to be hard for the grocery stores to manage that, even though it's going in a bag. So that's a thought.
Absolutely. But that's a good question. I mean,
yeah.
Again, it gets back to the sortation aspect. Since you are doing you are technically the sorter by consolidating it all into one bag to take back to a retail location. Small pieces like the one that Pat showed is totally fine to put in mix. So
larger pieces are okay too. Like this is a pretty big piece of plastic. Comes around, it's called case wrap. You know, it comes around your water bottles or different beverages or things like that. This is you just would remove the plastic, of course, from the cardboard. The cardboard is fully recyclable in your blue card. The plastic wrap could go in, you know, consolidated in your plastic bag and go back to the store and take back program.
All right. So a lot of information about plastic, but I know it's a pretty confusing topic. There's a lot of different products out there and there's more coming every day. And so we try to stay on top of them, but we love getting questions from you guys because it just gives us a chance to talk with you guys about it and hear more from you about how to, you know, try to make things just a little bit less confusing. So Angie, thank you for your question. So air pillows, bubble wrap, bubble mailers, all of that stuff without the labels, remove the contaminants that can get bagged up and taken back to your retail location, which we'll link to where you can find those locations in the show notes. Stuff that's made out of multiple materials like these Ziploc bags and whatnot, those things have to go into the trash.
Chip bags.
Yeah. Exactly. So there's your kind of Cliff Notes version, but remember when you're thinking about stuff that goes in your blue cart, remember, is it sortable? And is there a market for it? And if you have questions about those things, absolutely drop us a line because, again, we'd love to hear from you guys. All right, a few quick reminders this week that we wanted to share with you. So we're still deep in the month of January, so you have the opportunity to put out your holiday greens and trees out, up to 3 trees per compost cart that you have. So if you're at an apartment building, they're up to 3 allowed per cart at your building. Or if you are a single family resident, then up to 3 per cart per week. So that is a lot. So you can also take them to the transfer station for free as well. So if you happen to be throwing a tree on your car, you can check it with your neighbor. Be like, hey, I'm going to the transfer station. Do you want to throw yours in? Go ahead and add that to the pile.
Nice.
So, and make sure that, you know, all the decorations are taken off because it's really just the tree that we're composting. So,
and if you haven't been collected yet, I mean, we're still recovering system-wide.
Yes.
You know, we're still recovering from the snow we all experienced through the holidays, through the New Year holiday and such. So if you haven't had your carts collected, regardless of which stream it is, just put them out on your collection day or leave them out, actually. And they're trying to catch up. They're making a lot of progress. I think we've made a lot of collections over the last few days, but just getting through this calendar week will probably be what it takes to get back on track.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for your patience. And this is a quick plug for those of you who don't have it yet. Check out the Recycle It app. It's available for Android and iPhone as well. And you will never miss a service alert update because we send out information on those. We used it quite a bit for the service interruptions due to the snow. And we send weekly notifications so you'll never forget, like, is this my recycle week? We will tell you the night before. So
hey, I get it. That little prompt, it comes to me. It's a push notification that flashes up on my phone every Monday night. It says, hey, tomorrow's collection day. And it also reminds me which week is recycle week. So it's a very handy app.
It's super handy. So yeah, go ahead and sign up. It's a really great tool. We've used it for a couple of years. I'm the ghost of the machine, so I'm the one that gets to send you those notifications. And it's just a great way to stay connected. If you guys did get missed, thank you guys so much for your patience. We really appreciate it. The drivers are working really hard out there to get that stuff picked up. But if you did get missed this week and your collection day has already passed, make sure that you go and report that either through the Recycle It app. You can also look it up in the App Store under Seattle Garbage and Recycling app, and that will come up. You can report your missed collection there, or you can go to our website and find it as well. So I think it's seattle.gov/recycleit, and you'll be able to find the information. So, all right, folks, again, thank you so much for your questions. Thank you all of you who are watching the live show. We totally appreciate it. And keep those questions coming. You can send them to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or you can send us an email at askevelyn@seattle.gov. And with that, the show's a wrap. And remember, folks, I'm Becca Fong. Life simpler with less stuff.
And I'm Pat Kaufman. Remember to recycle it right. See you
Have
later.
a good week, guys.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.